Glamour versus reality. This is the truth about jewelry robberies.
You know, have I ever thought about robbing casinos? I think I thought about robbing everything.
Before I get started, check out my book, Gangster Redemption. Check out my cigars, the Crooked Diamond Cigar. Check them out in the webs and the links below. Please check it out. Now listen, you all seen movies like Ocean's 11 and The Italian Job and a number of other heist movies. And they really paint the picture of glamour, of high-speed chases. GTA 5 is a big example. I actually do a lot of work with GTA 5 and I did a whole video on that. And I'm explaining the robberies, probably in too glorious of a term or a way. That's not right, because I'm here to set the record straight on what it is. There's so much more to what we're gonna do today. And I'm gonna show you the other half of the glamour. Yes, is the money the glamour? Is the lifestyle the glamour? Is the power the glamour? Yes, that was what hurt me. That's what put me behind bars. I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to understand there's more to this. There's more hurt, there's more in-depth. And when I tell you the consequences are more than you could imagine. You think you know, but you don't know. And I'm here to tell you all about it. This is gonna be an amazing video you're gonna really love.
Ocean's 11. So there's a couple of things this movie does really well. Casing the joint and getting inside information.
First task, reconnaissance. I want to know everything that's going on in all three casinos, from the rotation of the dealers to the path of every cash card. I want to know everything about every guard, every watcher, anyone with a security pass.
Okay, movies like Ocean's 11, and I talked about them on TV, on YouTube, everywhere. Well, let me hit you with a reality check. The actual impact on the employees and the victim is far from Hollywood show. It really is. You know, people react to crimes in different ways. I've walked in on crimes and I've had employees start laughing because they're so nervous. I've had them cry. I've had them shake uncontrollably. And I never thought about it because that was my job at the time. I'm not saying right, but that was my job at the time. And that is a side of this that I want you to know. There's impacts on people that are really deep. Now, the more I've been out, the more I've understood crime one way or the other. Here's what the problem is with me. It even goes deeper than that. How about the PTSD these people might be having for the rest of their lives? How about when they go home or they go into a jewelry store or they go to another job and they see somebody who might have looked like me or see somebody that just made them feel uncomfortable? That's something I put people through. I often tell people, I never hurt anybody in a robbery. And that is true physically. I didn't break somebody's arm. I didn't shoot at somebody. I didn't pull their hair and hit them with a pistol. I never physically hurt somebody, but I totally mentally hurt somebody. And, I had to get over that in many ways that I did that. And I hope the people have got over that in their own ways. But there is PTSD and I have to live it. How about the PTSD? How about the impact I had on my own family? When I was arrested and I was sent away and my daughter was 15 months old and my son was 7 years old, I had to live with the stigma, or they had to live with the stigma of their dad in jail. My ex-wife had to live with, how do you say what happened to your husband? Are you divorced? No, but he's away. Where is he? Well, he's in prison. What did he do? He robbed people. He did stuff that was totally bad. Now, some people look at you bad. Some, it didn't, but people judge. And that's just the way life is. So I actually had an impact on my kids' lives, not even knowing it, even when I wasn't there. So, and my ex-wives. How about my parents when they went to a social event? And how's your kids doing? How's Larry doing? Well, Larry's in federal prison. Larry's in there for 4 12-year sentences. That doesn't look good. It really doesn't. And that's a part of this that I had to come to grips with myself. But the more you think about it, the more you talk to your parents, people who know I have a 90-year-old mother I take care of. And my mom, she tries to forget it now. Obviously, thank God she's a little bit forgetting anyway. But, these are issues that I have. My sister who's alive, my brother who was part of what I did, he has to deal with it, and everybody else has to deal with it around us. Our nieces and nephews, and now I have 3 grandkids. How are they going to explain their grandfather when they get older? Oh, he was a gangster? I hope not. I hope that people recognize people can change. We're going to talk about that. But the impact I had on people, and again, glamour to reality check. The reality check is I hurt more people than I know. And that hurts me in a lot of different ways. The glamour is there. Trust me, there is glamour. And anybody tells you there's not glamour, is bullshitting you too. And I'm not here to bullshit you. I'm not here to lie. I am here to tell the truth of what happens and how it affects people. The older I get, the more experienced I get, the more I realize how many people I hurt. I just talked about the reality check of my impact on family, my own family, the family of people who I robbed. But how about the even impact on myself? Going to federal prison for 4 12-year sentences, never ever believing you're gonna get out. Being tortured in prison, strapped down naked, beaten, and tortured. That happened to me. Going to prisons because I'm a stubborn man and being put in the hole all the time because I'm a high-profile inmate. I am an inmate who is a high risk. How about going on Con Air for 16 times and more and being shuttled around the country in shackles and leg irons like an animal with a black box on? That happened to me. It's hard to put that out of your head, but there are times going through research, whether it's this video or another video, and this hits me. And I look back at that and say, wow, was it worth it? Was it worth losing my children for the best years of their lives? I went to prison at 34 years old. I didn't get out till 46 years old. If you don't think that impacts you, those are the best years of your life. Totally the best years of your life, and I lost them. I lost them because of my own choices. I never ever blame anybody. I am all about prison reform because the prison system is so bad and our government doesn't handle rehabilitation at all. But don't ever think for a second that I am giving an excuse of why I did what I did or that somebody was at fault for me going to prison. Never did you ever hear on any show me saying, oh me. Never happened, and it never will. I don't think anybody deserves to be tortured in prison. I don't think anybody deserves to be in inhumane conditions that a United States prison system is in. I often wondered, and my mom often wondered, why are you in prison longer than a child molester? I often couldn't answer that. Nobody can. It's just sad that I have to answer that question because I made the mistakes that you shouldn't make. You can't be thinking about going to prison. You can't be thinking about doing this because life's over. If I knew what I knew now, would I do that? Absolutely not. I would not do that. So before you get enamored with the allure of the glory and the money and everything else, remember, there's a second part to that. There is a reality check to that. Now, let's say you're still not convinced for whatever reason. Think about the harsh time you're going to get. Listen, I beat a gun charge. Will you? I don't know. Gun charges carry enormous amounts of time. If you have a gun and brandish the gun, that's a charge. If you have a gun and discharge it, not at anybody, shoot it at the ceiling, that's another charge. If you have accomplices, that's another charge. The amount of money you steal in the jewelry is another charge. There is a conspiracy charge, more than one person trying to get together to commit. All of these charges, the prosecutor is going to stack on top of each other. And believe me, they're not going to have mercy on you. They're not going to say, oh, he's all right. He didn't commit crime. He is who he is. No, they get off. And this is sad as it is. They get off on not rehabilitation of a person. Often I tell people can be rehabilitated. And it's funny because as a person who has been rehabilitated, if you didn't know this, I'm the only ex-con in the United States who's an honorary police officer. I'm the only ex-con in the United States who's recognized on the floor of the United States Congress for helping people, for prison reform. Only person. With that said, there is no rehabilitation in prison. You have to do everything on your own. Can it be done? I got out of prison at 46 years old. I'm an ex-con with a long, long record. I am not officially have any kind of background in anything except the law, which I did in prison. So what am I going to do? When people tell me, people don't change, that's BS. People change. You grow older, you become smarter, you have different views. If you're 20 years old right now, you're looking at things in one way. If you're 40, look back when you were 20 and you tell me you didn't think differently. You did. Life experiences change people. You can change. People can change. So I don't want anybody to ever think, oh, I committed a robbery. What the hell? I might as well keep going. And when I get out. No. If you committed crimes, you could stop now. There is statute of limitations on everything. You could move on in your life and become a better person. Period. That I want you to know. I feel like I'm a better person. Do I have fun? Do I go crazy? Do I do crazy things? Do I drink? Do I party? Do I do stuff? Absolutely. Do I hurt people? Do I do illegal things to hurt people, to do crime? Will you catch me doing another jewelry robbery? Absolutely not. Unless it's 20 million. I'm only kidding. My point to you is don't ever think it's over. When people tell me it's over, I was on a board with a bunch of government officials, and I actually had a police chief tell me, you got to give up on some of these kids. I said no, and I slammed my phone on the desk. And I said, that's bullshit. Look at me, person who got out of 46. If they would have gave up on me, I wouldn't be where I was. People have redeeming factors. There is redemption. There is second chances. Don't ever forget that. There is second chances in life. Listen, I went from being the biggest jewel robber in the United States to being one of the biggest forces for change and redemption and reform, prison reform, criminal justice reform in the country. When I got out, I felt compelled, and that's why I developed the reality check program. I developed that program to show not scared straight. I don't want anybody to ever believe scared straight is the answer. I just wanted to show that there is reality to all of this. The reality check is it's not all glamour. And I'm not here to say there's no glamour either, because that would be BS. I'm not going to do that. There is glamour. Just remember, there's a second half to that glamour, and that's the reality check. And that's prison. That's being put in the hole for 3 years. That is being tortured. That is eating food that make a billy goat puke. That's what it's about. I will end by saying this. I take care of my 90-year-old mother who was worried sick about me when I was in prison. But I want you to know there is a road to redemption, and there is another life you could have. Remember, if you're committing crimes, if you're doing something stupid, if you're doing something that's hurting other people, it's time to stop. End it. Have fun. Watch YouTube. Do a lot of things. Build a business. I don't care what you do, but get away from the life of crime. If you're doing drugs that are so bad you can't control yourself, quit. Just quit. Choice making is my biggest advocacy. I believe in choice making. I believe you should have the opportunity to make the choices. But make the right choice. Don't live the life other people think you should live. Live your life. Don't anybody ever tell me you can't do it, because we all can do it. Just remember that. You as a person have to believe in yourself first to start. A lot of times I think back at that and it hurts. I don't want you to hurt the way I hurt. I don't want you to have to go through what I went through to be a success. You don't have to do that. Stay strong. Make good choices. And I'll see you in the next video.